Hey guys and gals, let's unbox and take a look at the Lego Van by Lego City. This is set number 60500, contains 276 pieces, retails for $29.99, and set was provided by the Lego Group for early review. Thank you, Lego. And just by first impressions, this looks like one awesome build. And I'm hoping that's a tile that's printed, not a sticker. As long as these boxes are printed, we're going to have a really good build. And something's telling me this is going to be a really fun set to assemble. And here's the top here. Various sets. And yeah, we got a 1-to-1 scale there too. And here's the back. And yeah, this one looks like it's going to be a killer of a set, but we don't know that. Let's unbox it and find out. Alrighty, let's see here. Okay, it's not packed too bad. Oh, maybe it was. That was hiding in the box, which is like a 2x16 plate. Not very smart to pack that loose. So it looks like 3 bags that are numbered. And yeah, that's the most important one. And the building guide. And yeah, I don't see any stickers. I think this is going to be a really good treat to build. And no brick separator, of course. Ouch. I was hoping there was going to be one, but looks like we do get the stuff, everything is printed. So I think we're going to be really in for a really fun treat. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build this set and get it done quickly. Let me turn on some light here. It's a bedside build, so, well, good night, everyone. We're going to be doing a bedside build. Very, very rare here. So I think that's what I'm going to do is just jump right on in and get going on this. And we got 3 bags. And I don't think this is going to be a bad build at all. Well, let's get started here. Okay, let's begin. Let's build it. And it is a bedside build. You know? And I mean, I have a reason I got to do a bedside build because in about 12 to 15 hours, my family is going to start arriving. Well, my family and girlfriend's family. So this is going to be very interesting. Very interesting holiday. And yeah, so I'm going to try to film as much as I can before the gang gets here. So I got probably see if I can get two or so sets. It's like 12:30 in the morning. So I'm going to try to kind of squeeze a few of these in here. And yeah, it looks like everything's printed. You know, I have not ran across a sticker sheet, and I'm going to honestly say I don't miss them one bit. Not one bit at all. Let's kind of zoom this in here. That's the beauty about this 4K jobby. And yeah, I'll get the jokes and the teasing about doing the Lego stuff at my age. But, yeah, I mean, we get a lot of these. These are keepers. We'll take a look at these in a bit when we start building. So let's get on the minifigures here. And I hope everybody's going to have a really good holiday season. And if you don't celebrate, that's understandable. Just take it easy and relax, like you know, that's what we're all doing here. And so I don't think it really matters which one is which. So this gal here has got a single-sided head, and that could be a Bluetooth headphone or a hearing aid, we don't know. And we're just going to do both minifigures now. And they both got single-sided heads. I got a really good comment today. And I've noticed this has been being more of a common thing now. I had found out more people watch this because they like hearing me talk. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's probably because of my voice. Some people say I sound so soothing and calm. Well, I wouldn't have been calm until the family came around, but no, it's cool. Just hoping there's really no drama or anything like that going on. But I'm going to be kind of busy for the holidays. Some of it will be Lego, and some of it will not be. It'll just be doing chores around the house and stuff. Hey, at least I get to talk to you guys and gals. So we got this gentleman here holding a mug. I mean, pretty cool. Not too bad at all. And then we have this gal here. I always get this question asked, from time to time, not all the time, but Jay, I'm a gal, I do Lego, is that weird? No. You can, if you're a gal and you like doing this, it doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying the hobby. That's all that matters here. And there's our little hand truck. Okay. Alright, so we got her out of the way. So it looks like this bag here we're going to be building a lot of accessories. And yeah. Alright, now we're going to be building the fun part, the pallet of bricks, or the pallet of sets. I sound a little stuffed up right now. I'm just kind of tired, but I figured I want to get going on this thing as quickly as I can before family gets here, because when they get here, it's going to be loud. I kid you not. It's, especially when part of my family is Italian, and it just it can get loud here real quick. So I just kind of have to I have to get used to it now. That's just how it is. And yeah, we're going to build all these first, and then we're going to take a closer look at all the prints. I think that'd be a little easier. But there's no stickers to fuss with, and that's even better. And we get a bunch of these here. And a lot of these are actual sets that we've actually put together, which is even better. Now, I'm always looking for tiles that have set prints. Why? Why do I look for those? Because they're always handy to have. And sets are always a cool thing. And let's see here. Are we done with this? Yes, we are. And this is what it looks like right here. And if you're getting this set just for the tiles, that's printed. That's really nice. So we got a nice palette of stuff. And of course you can take the sets off and put them on the hand truck, which is cool. And yeah, I mean, that's a nice little accessory piece there. Okay, now it looks like we're getting ready to start the van. That's the fun. That's really going to be the fun part there. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So I'm glad everybody gets to join me here on these build things. And oh, I can use these. I got tons of them black, but I can use those. So yeah, it's the holidays. Yeah. Like I said, I've been single for so long, and things have, well, living alone for so long, actually. And, things have changed, at least for the best, Everybody right now is asleep, so I don't want to disturb anybody, so I always keep it quiet. It won't be like that tomorrow night. Especially when my nephew gets here, because he'll probably be up till 7 in the morning playing video games, and I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm just up late right now doing Lego sets just so I can get everything wrapped up. But I'm hoping this build here is going to be something we can enjoy. I always enjoy doing the Lego City vehicles. These are not that big of a build. And they go sometimes really fast, too. So, looks like those sets might be fitting inside those holes. We don't know. And I got a lot of chores to do after the holidays. Could do some stuff next week. A lot of people are off for Christmas, and that might be the best time. I need to get my car inspected, but I might be able to do it next week. I don't know yet. And if I get that done, I'll be fine. But I kind of just want to wait until after the kiddies go back to school in January. And I got a while to get it done, but I got to think on that one real fast. You know. So, I don't know. Yeah, so far this is not a bad set. I think I've been pretty pleased with the vehicles, with the city vehicles. I mean, they're just, I don't know, they're just not built like they usually are. They're not. These are not built like more or less crap. These are really nice. Oh, I thought we were going to fit something in there. That's kind of a odd placement for that, but I can use that piece in red, so that's even better. And now, these sets are always a treat to build, and it's a nice chassis there. You could use that for all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, the tutorials I filmed, I finally managed to get a couple of them done. There was one that I was stuck on. I just popped in my head, thought, okay, I'm going to film that real quick before I get started, because I just did not want to hold that off for 2 to 3 weeks. So I would have started these earlier, but I had tutorials. Right now I haven't edited any files. This is the last memory card I have that's available for a while. So I'll get started on editing. Stuff like that. And yeah, looks like we're just doing the chassis. Now I'm assuming that there's also another one on the other side. So we're going to take a risk here and see. I have a feeling. Yeah, tonight I had salami and crackers and a soda for dinner tonight. I know that's not much of a dinner for some, but I sat back and watched a few TV shows and on the computer, and I was just like, I was relaxed while I was doing Lego stuff. And I just wanted to just not think. So I did. I did just that. And I think that might be the front, because the tail lights tell it all. And yeah. Yeah, not too bad. Alright. So we might be building mirrors for this part now. Yeah, it's I like reading the comments from like Janet and everyone else who takes the time or takes the plunge and leaves a comment. I always like reading comments on here. It gets kind of it just knows, and I just kind of feel like I'm not alone here doing these. And it goes for everybody here. And if I give you a heart, that means I read your comment. Unless you just really leave something negative. We're doing this side here. Okay, that checks out. That checks out. Yeah, just don't leave anything negative, because we don't want to deal with that. Okay, now it looks like we're turning our attention maybe to the front bumper. Now, I know there's going to be some out there that are going to say that these sets are, really expensive. And yes, they are. But you know what? We're getting a model that's printed. We are getting a finished drop-in build. Lego's not going to get any cheaper. Okay, we're going to have to face that. But if we're building something that we enjoy, that's all that matters. Oh, Jay, Lego's paying you to say that. Lego ain't paying me anything. That comes from me. You know. I mean, but at least I'm here enjoying the build and sharing it with you. And, oh yeah, these are not to be construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes. So, yeah, if I make a mistake, which may happen, that's how it is. I don't try to do it on purpose. I don't make on purposes. I try not to, but, yeah. And I think we are in for a really fun treat tonight. I think this one is good. I mean, just this alone is a nice chassis. Just imagine making a nice, like a motorhome or something on that. But it looks like bag one levels off the chassis there. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's a nice base for a vehicle. And we only have just this one piece remaining. Alright. Now we're going to move on to bag two. Okay. Yeah, even though if this is my place, it's still respectful to keep it down. And I don't want to look at that just yet because, yeah, I hope that's not scratched. Right now this set, I'd say it's going to get no more than a 9.5 just with the lack of a brick separator. This would have been a perfect 10. Well, let's get the black paper ready. I notice if I get this done in a hurry, usually this comes in without a scratch. And it's dust. Yeah, I think that's a winner there, but Lego needs to take better care of that. Some have said I should just start dinging off for scratched parts. Maybe I should. I don't know. So it looks like we're doing the mid-body construction now. I don't really know. But yeah, at least it's something to do. And I know somebody's going to say, well, Jay, if you got family coming over, maybe they can help you. Well, I don't think they're into this stuff too much. And yes, we got another one of these 2x6 plates with the 5 studs in the middle. The doors, the car doors go right up against this. I'll show you. See, they'll fit right up in there. So that's what this plate is for. I've only seen another set, and I think it was in gray. This one is in yellow. That is a keeper. That's a keeper. So that is even better. Yeah, but if you just like listening to me talk, you're in the right place. At least I don't yell in my... Some people say they like me because I don't yell in my videos. I don't see the need to yell in these at all. I mean, there's just no point. I don't want to wake up everybody in the house. I don't want to do that. But once family gets here, though, I'm just going to just kind of chill out. And if it gets a little too heated up in there, I will just stay in here and just kind of work in the Lego room and just be done with it. Keep to myself. I even explained to my bunch, I said, I can't give up this room right now. I got a bunch of sets in here, and it would take me a while to clean it out, and it's just going to take time. At least they understand that I'm not going to do that. So this is going to be more or less just a city drop-in set. I think we're going to be fine with this one here. Like this is obviously the cargo area. Lego, now you could do better than these little steering wheels. I mean, come on now. Hey, like really, you got the little wheels. Hard to say. I have an hour and 34 minutes left on this card. I am doing really good. Well, I wish these ingot pieces were dark orange, but, well, they are yellow. We are going to have to use them. Well, unfortunately. So, yeah, I got a bunch of tutorials filmed and everything, so when family's here, I'll be able to edit and stuff, maybe before we go on walks or something like that, so at least it'll give me time to catch up on building and stuff. But I'm hoping to get 2 or 3 sets done tonight. I'm not really tired. I'm more just relaxed than anything. So it's a nice, good palette cleanser before I get into the family gig. Like I said, though, I've been used to being living alone for so long. I'm still not quite getting used to the whole thing. Even they understand. It's like I'm not used to it. I guess you can call it isolation. But yeah, that special plate goes there. So what that is just to offset our seats inside the vehicle, which is really nice. Oh, where are you going? You get back over there. We're almost done with bag. Well, maybe not. We're getting close though. I saw this set though when I knew I was getting this one, and I thought, ooh, this one looks fun. If it was all printed, this would be a fun one. So sometimes Lego can surprise us, and they can produce sets that are like this that I considered what I call high-end. This feels more custom than it does feel like some cheesy thing with stickers. And Lego, I think, is going to start realizing this. Now, I got another theme I got to go through, and I have not even, make sure it's pressed down. I don't even know if this other theme that I'm going to be working on has stickers, but so far I have ran across no stickers in any of these sets. And like I said, though, we're getting to the point where everything is pretty much just high-end builds, which is really cool. Well, that's silver metallic. That's kind of cool. But I think if you guys and gals are interested in this set, you're not going to be disappointed. I've been pretty pleased with the city vehicles so far. Like I said, some people think I just script these and say positive stuff. I mean, do I feel like I'm throwing away my time? No, because if I was, I wouldn't be doing this at this time at night. I mean, when we're getting to the point of, I mean, something that's bright colors and it's just cool to look at. I mean, come on now. I mean, who wouldn't want to build this? And I got another thing I want to build after this one here. So I'm hoping to squeeze that in tonight too. Okay, there's a little bit of a gap there. I was wondering how we were going to handle that. There's not going to be any kids here at the house, you know, which is fine by me. The youngest person that's going to be here is 19. That's, you know, my nephew. Not too bad. Although I wouldn't mind having a bunch of screaming kids here on the holidays. At least I know it'll be busy. Of course, if I had kids, I'd be the one taking their toys, playing with them. That kind of thing. Okay, so this sits here. So we might have a functioning hood on this vehicle. So that might be a cool thing there, making sure that this is fitting in here. It doesn't quite close all the way. But there's, it doesn't. Okay, then I'm not messing up then. So it is a little hood that fits in here. So this doesn't close all the way. There's a gap there. The book also shows a gap there. So, okay, I'm making sure, because maybe you might build this and you're like, Jay, I got a gap there. Well, I did too. So making sure. Yeah, so far it's looking good, isn't it? We're just using a lot of medium pieces, and there's some small pieces in here, but not like where we're being oversaturated with them. And I think I missed a page. Yeah, I forgot to put the car doors in. Whoopsie. See those plates? So yeah, it's well, it'd help if I put the other plate on top, but you know. So far, I mean, the only parts that are falling off is if I'm manhandling this thing wrong, but it's not like I'm building something, it's just like it's crumbling apart. Let me pull this back here for you. It's nice when we see the instrument cluster all printed that I gotta find. Okay. Yeah, we gotta hide those nasty colors, huh? Yeah, this one's really cheerful. This is a cheerful build. It's $30, but for 270, what is it, 276 pieces? I mean, it's not that bad. I know some are going to say it's expensive, but I don't mind paying extra if pieces are printed, and it takes care of the windshield. the windscreen, and if the parts are not scratched, because this had a scratch and it would have been dinged down, but I'm already dinging a little bit off because of a brick separator. I don't know yet. I'm trying to get that right there. Sorry if my hands are in the way. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. And I forgot to put this in here. But this is probably one of those sets, though. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. If I can get the family into this, I'd have all these reviews done by now, but they would have to write up the reports and do the presentations. And even my girlfriend's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I even try to say, hey, who would like to be the ambassador in our group? And nobody wants to be the ambassador because they know all the paperwork and the headaches involved with getting a supposedly free set. That's what everybody else thinks. You know. This wouldn't be too bad if we can get rid of these, at least a set of these tubes here. But that's a nice back of a seat, a bench seat. Not too bad at all. Alright, let's see here. We're almost done with this here. We're going pretty fast in here. This is not that bad. Tell me what you think of the set so far. If you're watching this, just chime away what you think. You know, that's why I have comments enabled. If I didn't want to answer comments, I wouldn't turn them on. But I am pleased with this. This is not something cheesy. You know, I'm usually some sets I just get bored, but this one here, I would say we're doing good. Now I'm going to run across a bad set eventually, but I don't know which one that's going to be. I have no clue. Making sure we're still recording here. This is a set that I want to preserve my thoughts on, and then this goes right in here like that. Okay, not too bad at all. Then we got to put our big plates in here. They're probably using these to stop the door from going all the way in. Oh, wait a minute, but this goes here. Whoopsie, my bad. Watch to the very end because I may make boo-boos. And then, yeah, that's not going to be good. And then, now we got to put a wrench inside. In case we break down or the Lego set gets stuck in the thing. And that's it. But we have a few extra pieces here. I should be using 2 of these. So, okay, what did I make a mistake on here? Well, we're going to find out here. Sometimes this happens and I have to backtrack. Okay, this tile's supposed to go in here. Like that. And yeah, I make a lot of mistakes in videos. And we have round tiles. So where did those go? The clear ones. I see the studs there. All right, let me go back here. So I'll index this as troubleshooting here. And sometimes, you know, Lego sometimes does make a mistake, but very rarely they ever do on part numbering. So it happens. I've had this happen before. Sometimes I'm just not paying attention and I'm yapping too much, but you know what? Hey, what the heck, you know. And before you continue on with your build, always, if you have, like, there's 3 of those, why are those here? So, I mean, sometimes I just kind of forget a step. Sometimes a page sticks together. Okay, there's the round ones there. Oh, it was at the end. Okay, I see where those go. Okay, they go back here, my bad. So see, now I know. So I bet those are going to be used as stops. Well, I don't want the black one in there. I want the clear ones. Okay. Okay, we fixed that. Not too bad. And this is what we have remaining. Alright, we're going to wrap up this installment here with bag 3, and I want to thank everyone on my Patreon and my main channel for being contributors. It's always a big help. Thank you to everybody checking out my rebrickable profile and purchasing building guides, 'cause that's also a big help. Ooh, we'll have to take a look at those there. And most importantly, everyone, thank you for taking the time to subscribing, liking, commenting on my videos, sharing my content with your friends and everybody else who likes Lego stuff. That's always a nice thing to see too. Alright, and maybe we'll get more subscribers on here, huh? Okay, so right now, let's get back into here. We're right back in it. And the only thing I could say is also a negative on this set is it's not a collaborative build. And ooh, I've never seen 4x8 tiles, but these are printed. You know what? I got the other ones from the other Lego truck. Imagine this being a part of a Lego store. Really nice. So yeah, this set's worth its money. If you missed out on the other Lego van, yeah, this one here is probably not going to be a perfect substitute. No, I've never seen this type of a part before. That'd be good for a windshield if that existed. All right. Yeah, I know I'm fanboying over the parts, but I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, these are pieces that I just don't commonly see all that much. So, like some of this stuff, like you get this Lego tile that's printed. If you're making a Lego store, there you go. I got the bigger 4x4 variant, I think. And there's a whole bunch in here. We got to be careful. Okay. So obviously now we're going to wrap up the vehicle. Yeah, though, once my family comes over, it shouldn't be too bad. Just won't be able to film as much. At least Lego is not too demanding on when the stuff has to be released, but I think I'm going to have to skip every other day on releasing content, but I'll see if I can sneak back here and do some filming, and hopefully everybody goes to bed early. It should not be much of a problem, huh? Or if it gets a little too heated in the kitchen, you know, what's the saying? If it's can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Yeah, I'll probably do just that. Which reminds me, I got to go to the store and get some stuff to make some fresh gingerbread, snickerdoodle, and peanut butter cookies. That does sound good, doesn't it? Yes, I do bake. I do bake. You need the grub, you know. Alright, so this book here is doing this stupid numbering thing like this. So, the manual, it's not bad, but they could have done something a bit better with that. So we got to make 2 of these. And yeah. So I hope everybody's ready for Santa Claus. Come visit you and bring you gifts. Hope everybody was good, and you know, that kind of thing, and get some stuff. For me, I am ready just to chill out. Yeah, I've been watching some movies. I just been watching, even if it's not Halloween, I've been mostly watching Halloween, like thriller, science fiction flicks and stuff. I need to upload some movies to the thing so I can watch some holiday movies while I'm dozing off. It'll put me to sleep while the family's here. And yeah, I'll see what I can do there. So I gotta make a couple of those. Yeah, I mean, at least oh, and by the way, since I've been doing all this, I haven't blocked anybody since the last time we met, which is cool. I think I've already blocked all the haters. I think I got rid of those. Not the people who disagree with me, but just I want to start a fight with Jay because I'm having a miserable holiday, because that's not fun. So I just block them. have a feeling these are going to be the side doors, or they could be hinges for the doors. Okay. 1x4 flat tiles. Now you got a better view than I do. I try to do different filming techniques on these just to see if I can do things a little differently for you. I got a big box of vacuum tubes I got to go through. I bought a big lot from somebody in town, and I'm hoping all the stuff I need is in there, because I'm looking for a few more 35W4 rectifier tubes. I got a bunch of AA5 radios, all American 5 radios that need to be more or less tested and restored, so I can so they're mostly AM radios, so I don't have to worry about picking anything up interesting, but I do have an in-house transmitter hooked up to the computer. It'd be kind of cool to play one of those radios and play some old-time radio shows from the 30s. And just something to doze off to. If anybody is alive that's remembered that stuff from that long ago, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, before there was television, they would play radio shows, even the 20s and 30s. I mean, where they would just talk, you know, like what I'm doing here, just tell stories. And I think that's going to be awesome just to get none of those work. And now, obviously, I will not have that. I won't doze off to anything like that. Never doze off to a tube radio, because, you know, we don't need to have, you know, because if not and I doze off, bad things may happen, and yeah, I don't feel like going without a home. So especially with some of my radios, they've got those cords that are like a resistor. They're called curtain burners. Yeah, I got to really be careful with that. And it'd be something different. This looks like these go here, and I'm glad that you guys and gals who enjoy this channel like the stories. So those are the hinges. And, you know, at least I get to talk about things on here and tell you stories. I wish I could do this with my bunch. Let's just sit here and talk and kind of just shoot the breeze here. Okay, these go here. And now let's just shove these in here. It wants these stacked, but it'd just be easier to do them like that. And I think this is going to be a winner. Can't wait to play with this one. Now, if I had kids, they would be allowed to play with this stuff after I review it. I know but really part of the Lego building is building the set. That's part of the play, but when I have to do the reviews. But if I had children, let's make this a family deal. Alright, so it wants a plate on this side here. I have a feeling we're going to have to put it on this side, so I'm going to do this one right now. Kind of stuff that in there. We're almost done here with this. This one's not too bad. When I have a set, this just tells you how good a set is. When I have a set like this, I don't want to put down. And I'm a very picky person on sets. I don't just give everything 9s and 10s. This one here, I think it's going to warrant this. It's not a collaborative build by any means, so I'm going to honestly say probably a 9.5 due to the lack of a brick separator. I don't want to do it to something this nice, but if the windshield was packed good and there was a brick separator, yeah, I'd say yeah. But I don't give something like this 6 or 7s because of price, because price is irrelevant. It just depends on where you live. And okay, so this one goes here. I mean, look at that. This is flat, and these open up like a DeLorean. And then we do the other side here. We've already done all this, so no, don't you dare roll off, Mr. Tire. Try to ruin my TV show. Alright. I did read a comment of one of yours on my main channel saying I'd be like a cool person to hang out with. Yeah, if you want to say that. So you open it up like that. Okay, that's what these are for. If it wasn't wrapped up with work, I probably would. Alright, that goes on the top. So there's plenty of headroom in there. Okay, not too bad at all. Okay, now we're going to put together the tires, but I think what I'm going to do first is put those, and those are printed. So you just stick these little tiles on here and we're ready to go. I may be inclined to do another set here real quick. Like I said, get myself real tired because tomorrow afternoon I'm going to have to... the family thing is going to be kind of interesting. If it's anything like my Thanksgiving, it's going to be real interesting. So I'll get that going there. Yeah. If I was married, it'd be even. If I was married, it would even be better. But you know, sometimes it's just all the same. Yeah, that doesn't want to go on there, does it? Yeah, these things you're going to have to muscle on. But that's it. And this is what we have remaining for bag 3 and the build. Toss those in there, and then now we can start putting the tires on the rig. So by the time family gets here, I'll have to start editing all these. And that takes care of the van. So yeah, we've already established this stuff opens up. We will test this out when we're doing the tour. Yeah, that looks fun, just even that. And I think we are in a really good position here. I have every one of these here. I've done this one. This one wasn't bad. It had the building guide had those goofy hand things. I did do the prisoner van. That one wasn't too bad. It was a finished build. We've also did the car. I want to get to that one, but that'll be later. I do have the airport. So I'll have enough to at least make a basic jet. And I haven't put any of this other stuff together. I don't know if I have that one or not, but I think honestly we are going to be in for a big prize. And there's the parts list there for you. Yeah, and that concludes this portion of the build. Okay, now we're going to start setting up everything for the tour. And just from my, we'll just throw a quick summation of thoughts here. My thoughts are really good. I mean, I wasn't disappointed with this one. I mean, this was a really good set. Especially when we're getting up close and personal with it, huh? But yeah, I mean, these are these type of sets here are always fun just to put together. Now, city sets used to be very barren back then, but now today they're not so much. I mean, you are getting a really good build. I cannot wait to test this one out. And we do get the hand truck. And so what I'll do when I do the tour on this one, I'm just going to go ahead and just bring things up close. There's no need for, we'll put this accessory back here. And the palette of Lego sets. I think everybody's going to be scarfing these up once they become available on Pick-a-Brick. They have some of the other ones on there. I've already bought them, but I'm all happy with that. And yeah, I mean, this was a really good one indeed. I'm pretty pleased with it. Well, we're going to start the formal tour. Well, the first thing we're going to take a look at here is our minifigures. So we got this gentleman here with a mug. Not too bad. And in addition, we have a second minifigure. And it gets a little better than this. Look at the sets we get in here. We've seen a lot of these. Looks like we have one of the winter sets. We got that motorhome. That wasn't a bad one. And looks like we have off-road vehicle. Then we have this crane. I think I have that one, but looks like we get 4 sets here, and they're printed, which is really cool. Now, in addition, you do have a hand truck, which works, and you can just pop these off here. They could be a little bit of a chore, and you can set these inside the hand truck. Now, I don't think I've ever seen Lego boxes that big before. It's like a packing box, but don't we wish sets like that existed where the set is about the size of a bathtub? That'd be really cool here. But that's the hand truck, and yeah, just we've seen these before. And with this, we have the delivery van. And this one rolls smooth and does all that stuff, and this is what it looks like on the front and the sides. And yes, these are all printed. I mean, this set feels very high-end with everything printed, which is even cool. We also have rear cargo doors. You can open these up here. It's like these are just mostly for looks. Not too bad. And here's the front. This does open up here. Well, that's not supposed to come off, but, well, that even does that on my cars, so that's understandable. Here's the interior here. That instrument cluster's printed. And yes, you can set 2 minifigures side by side. So we're going to do just that. We're going to set these guys in here. She's going to be the driver because the other guy, he's not really responsible with the vehicle. You know, he doesn't really take care of the company vehicle, so put him in there. And in addition, usually the passenger, I always have a hard time getting him in there. Let's see, why is he hitting in here? That's the whole point about doing these reviews, is to see if everything fits. So you just have to reposition his arms, but I like about, they have a special plate in here. I've seen this plate before. So the door closes right up against it, and you can have the 2 minifigures sitting side by side. I just need to get more plates like this. Would be really cool. And does the top go back on? Yes, it does. Pretty cool. So both figures do fit in there comfortably. Now, the back of this, we already saw the rear doors open up, but these side doors open up too. You just put your finger here and you just lift the flaps up like a DeLorean. Just do this other side here too. Now, honestly, this is a really nice playable model here. Kind of do it like that. There we go. And yeah, you got a little wrench in unless you get a flat. Some lights inside and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, you can put your pallet of Lego sets in there for delivery. So we'll just plop those in there. They do fit in there nice. It's right in place. It doesn't move around. I mean, that's really good. That just sits right in there. Of course, you can stick more in there if you want, but I think that's as much of the delivery we're going to have for the day. And you can close these right up. Oh, and the hand truck. Whoops, we've got to put that in there. Well, we'll just take care of that right now. We'll just throw that in here. So you can just put your hand truck right in there. Let's see, maybe I'll have to flip it in here like this. I think. Yeah, it fits right in there. So, everything can fit inside the van. That's even better. And, I mean, this looks really nice. This is a really nice build. I mean, I'm pretty pleased with it. So I'm going to talk about the build quality for the review. And honestly, the build quality of this is just I was blown away by this one. Everything's printed. It's built strong. It's secure except for this detaching. This feels like a custom build, like a high-end build. Everything's just finished off real nice. I'm really pleased with this one. It doesn't feel flimsy. It doesn't feel sloppy. This is really heavy duty. Build experience was also pretty fun. If you watch my build installments, this is probably one of the few sets that I got that it just pulled me into the build. I saw it when I was getting ready to review it, and I thought, this one looks pretty promising, but this one is promising. Well, for me anyways. This one kept my interest throughout the whole build. So if you're looking for something with a lot of bright colors, even better. Now, in addition to that, it's a playable model, as you saw. We can play with the pallets in here. You can load this up. You can make this into a moving van if you choose. But this will also look good in a Lego City. I mean, look, this thing's about 6.5, 7 studs, maybe 8 studs if you count that. They'll fit on a standard Lego Road base plate, so even better. So you can put this in your Lego City. It's just, you pick it up, you set it in there, and you're done. You don't have to make any modifications, so it's self-contained. Really nice model indeed with that. So it's a nice, good companion for your Lego City or custom build. In addition to that, there's a nice selection of pieces if you choose to take this apart. These tiles will come in handy. That Lego logo is going to come in handy. Plenty of parts in here to make other vehicles, and that's a plus for me because this is a good base here for inspiration. And yeah, this is not a bad one at all. I mean, I could just see this being modified for other creations, and honestly, I like the outcome of this one. And I'm going to have to give this one a 9.5 out of 10. No brick separator, and the building guide, it was more advanced, but there were some spots we had to count. But not those goofy hand things, which is even better. But this one here I think is a pretty good one to build. Unfortunately, it's not a collaborative build. Only one person can build this, so your companion is going to have another vehicle to build. So one of the other city vehicles will work just fine for that, but you won't be able to work on this together as a group. But overall, though, I'm pretty pleased with the Lego delivery van. I think this one here is just a nice companion for a Lego City, or it could just be used standalone. Or if you got the other Lego vans, even better. So you can have a whole fleet. But nonetheless, I mean, I enjoyed building this one, but tell me what you think.